But I'd like to begin first with Ankit Kumar of our special investigation team who's put this story together. Ankit, it was in October that Pakistan managed, after many tries, to get off the the grey list of the Financial Action Task Force, which is an organization headquartered in Paris, France. Being on that grey list imposed many restrictions on Pakistan. They had to be, in quote-unquote their best behavior before the world in order to get off this list. And now what your report and what your investigation has shown is that fundraising by organizations including the Jaish-e-Mohammed are in top gear once again. They're off the list and the funds can be raised once again, this time in the garb of funding the construction of mosques across Pakistan. Take us through how you did that.
Well, Shiv, this investigation is not only an indictment on the Pakistani establishment, not only an indictment of Pakistan's Foreign Minister Bilal Bhutto Zardari, who not long ago was taking credit for killing Osama bin Laden, which obviously he did not. This investigation is more of an indictment on the Financial Action Task Force. Remember, we do not know what went through, what went behind the scenes, how this decision to place Pakistan outside of the purview of the FATF grey list was arrived on. We were told that there were 34 points given to Pakistan to show the progress, and then there was a team that visited on ground. We do not know which places that team visited, because what our investigation shows, we started with open source information, right? There are social media pages which posted the links of WhatsApp groups related to Jaish-e-Mohammed. They posted frequent multimedia in those WhatsApp groups. Now, if you try and infiltrate into those WhatsApp groups using Indian numbers, you will not be allowed. But if somehow, which we did, can clone a sort of a Pakistani or a UAE or a Saudi-based number, that gives you, a better access to the operatives of JeM. So that was part one. The reason why we did the story at this time was, it's precisely because we wanted to check how those organizations are doing on ground after Pakistan managed to get out of FATF's grey list.
And boy, have you shined the light on those activities, because they're happening in full force. It wasn't really difficult to even, penetrate and, get the truth on camera, on tape, as it were. This is, I keep repeating this, but this is Pakistan's worst kept secret, Sushant. The fact that the Jaish-e-Mohammed is raising funds like never before, now that Pakistan is off the grey list, is hardly surprising to anyone. I'm sure it's not surprising to you. But Ankit is right, isn't he, when he says this is an indictment of the Financial Action Task Force. There has been this long effort by Pakistan to get off the grey list. But if this is happening, as Ankit's report has proven, then what the hell was that organization doing all along?
I think that question at the outset, actually, Shiv, I paid my compliments to Ankit's report and, India Today's investigation into this whole matter. We have seen some snippets of this kind of activity taking place, even in the past, on social media, collecting funds for mosques and stuff like that. And this was while the Pakistanis were on the grey list. But I think it is very important to understand that the FATF was focused on two people. One was this guy Sajid Mir, right? The guy who was involved in the 26/11 attacks. The man who had died and then was, taken out of his grave and was alive and hearty and then sentenced by a Pakistani court. We don't even know what that sentencing is all about, because the whole trial was done in a very hush-hush. FATF was insisting on him, and secondly, the FATF was insisting on Masood Azhar, on which the Pakistanis told the FATF that we don't know where this guy is, we don't think this organization exists anymore, we have already banned this organization, it's become defunct. And clearly that was a lie, because there was enough evidence which was already coming out in the social media and in other communication apps which are available, that this was an organization which continued to operate as business as usual. The leadership was pretty much intact. Their main center in Bahawalpur was very much intact. All of that was happening, right? So clearly, when the FATF takes Pakistan off the grey list, there was some kind of a political compromise or some kind of a political deal making which happened.
Clearly,
Otherwise,
yes.
purely on merit, Pakistan did not deserve to be out of the FATF grey list. So yes, it does raise a lot of red flags on the operation of the FATF, the effectiveness of the organization, and the seriousness with which this organization actually targets terror financing.
Yes.
Apart from just doing the virtue signaling that they are actually doing it,
Yes.
how much are they actually effective on the ground? So
And
yes, very serious questions are raised.